I'm talking about this today, an XTR cassette. It's a boring subject probably for a video, but this has been building up for years. What I want to say is there is a problem with electric mountain bike cassettes. Fundamentally, they're all too weak. They wear out far too quickly, and it's really disappointing that it's taken only till this model year, so 2023-2024 model year, to come up with cassettes from both brands, so SRAM and Shimano, which are the two biggest ones, to actually produce a cassette that shouldn't wear out as quick as all of the cassettes that have gone before. As you know, an e-bike puts out about 200 watts on top of your own leg input of maybe another 200 watts. So you've that. Now I mostly ride in dry and dusty, or dry, not wet. So take that in consideration when I'm talking about this particular product. Drivetrains don't last long enough. They really need to make a serious improvement. Now, they have. Well, the new drivetrain system, which you can jump on the frame, they love to show that, from SRAM, and basically the link glide stuff from Shimano. The two together should mean that you have, well, first of all, they're new standards, but second of all, they should last longer. Now, there's a lot of talk going through a cassette, and one of the biggest problems with a cassette is when you're shifting gears, the chain line. So that means the angle of the chain to the cassette. Now, in most cases, it's never dead straight. It's always at an extreme shift. If you add in dirt, water, and extra torque, and also not backing off the power when shifting, you're putting a lot of strain through that system. I ride probably a lot of kilometers every year, probably more than 20,000. So I'm putting a lot of strain, but that is distributed across a lot of bikes. This cassette here, which I really want to talk about, has been the bane of my life for the last, I don't know, few months. I've done 2,700 kilometers with this cassette, which is probably a pretty reasonable amount of time to do. The last 500 kilometers have been very strange. So first of all, I've used 2 chains on it, which is about the right number of chains. If you look here, you'll see, these cassette rings are attached to the spider with a form of rivet which goes up the spider on each arm. The top 8 cogs are connected together. At this, you'll see that the last rivet on every hole has snapped off and come out. The torque from the chain and the motor on this over time has worked the rivets loose, and the cassette has kind of auto-destructed. This cassette's $500 or euros, depending on which country you're in, and it's really expensive for a new cassette. Do I want to spend another 500 euros to have a cassette, which, to be honest, has only really worked well for sort of 60% of its expected life? The other 30% I've been spent fighting this problem. I'm not expecting for a mountain bike product for it to be perfect. All the Shimano stuff has got this build, even the SLX, the base level. I figured out, okay, let's try and fix it. So I drilled some of them out, replaced them with bolts. It worked for a while, but then it came loose, and I realized there must be an awful lot of strain until one day I was pedaled and it just went completely like a freewheel and just came completely loose and stopped functioning, which caused me to have to replace it. Now, the problem I've got is that 500 euro for a cassette is a lot of money. Now, if you look at the price of SLX cassettes, they're about 150 euro or $150, which honestly is very good. So you can just go buy one of those, but then it's a bit heavy. This has always been used properly in the right gear for the right cadence, but honestly, I am pretty disappointed. It's taken 13 years to create a system which in theory should last longer, wear better, shift better, and is kind of made for e-bikes. Is it worth spending your money on an XTR cassette and drivetrain? For the derailleur, I'd say yes. It definitely feels good. It's smooth to shift and I like it. For the cassette, I'd say no. I'd say the first thing you should do, if you eventually wear it out, is changed to either an SLX or an XT. So I did ask SRAM when they launched their new system, because I couldn't see any statistics on this, about the new cassette wearing and if it wears quicker or wears longer. And I have been told it should last longer, but obviously according to local conditions you cannot give it a precise number. So I kind of want to finish it there, and then it's quite a short video. Just wanted to recap about this experience, and I want to ask you lot out there what your experience is with chains and cassettes. Every 500 kilometers change your chain, spend €50, $50, get a new chain. Not particularly happy. Shimano need to take a look at that design and see if there's some improvements to be made, because I don't think that should be happening, especially considering I haven't been overly destructive to this cassette. I do not ride a big tall gear when with a slow cadence. I always keep it loose and easy. This thing probably shouldn't have broken the way it did break. I could accept wear, but that is more than wear. That's just something strange. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave your comments below with your experiences with cassettes and chains, and maybe we'll have a closer look at this in the future and maybe actually talk to a drivetrain specialist, and we'll see you soon.